Your Excellency, Senior General Min Line, Acting President of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, esteemed dignitaries, representatives of political parties and ethnic organizations, distinguished guests. Today marks a decade since the signing of the nationwide ceasefire agreement, NCA, in 2015, with the aim of establishing a union based on democracy and federalism in accordance with the outcomes of political dialogue in the spirit of Panama. In its quest for achieving lasting peace in Myanmar, the NCA has served as the leading institutional framework for dialogue between the government of Myanmar and the EAOs. Signing of the NCA was a watershed moment in Myanmar's history. It embodied the shared determination of diverse ethnic communities to set aside conflict and work out mutually acceptable federal democratic structures and arrangements to achieve lasting peace. It is this spirit of the NCA that must be nurtured and strengthened. In this context, India welcomes the slogan for this 10th NCA anniversary, from NCA to sustainable peace, shaping our future. Since NCA is the one available framework for addressing long-standing internal issues in Myanmar, we strongly urge all its signatories and non-signatories to make full use of the NCA mechanism for holding substantive discussions and achieving concrete, negotiated, and sustainable outcomes, rooted in the principles of democracy and federalism. The future of Myanmar depends on the success of the NCA process. As the largest democracy in the world, with over 1.4 billion people speaking 22 different official languages, living together in peace in the fourth largest and fastest growing major economy in the world, with one tax structure and one unified digital payment infrastructure, India has been privileged to share her experiences on constitutionalism and federalism with Myanmar, including holding 2 lecture series and 2 workshops in the last 2 years. With the participants, we went into the details of legislative and administrative separation of powers, as well as taxation and revenue sharing between the center and the states in India. We also discussed the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution on special administrative provisions and autonomy for certain ethnic or tribal areas of northeast India. While doing so, we have always stood for a solution that is Myanmar-led and Myanmar-owned, best suited for the country. Myanmar lies at the confluence of India's 3 key foreign policy priorities: Neighborhood First, Act East, and Mahasagar, which is mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions, including the Indo-Pacific. India has always stood by Myanmar as its trusted neighbor and partner, with age-old civilizational, spiritual, and people-to-people ties. We share a 1,643-kilometer long land border and a 1,060-kilometer long maritime border with Myanmar. So the conflict in Myanmar impacts us directly. We naturally have a huge stake in the cessation of violence and maintenance of peace and tranquility in Myanmar. In conclusion, I would like to express our hope that the NCA will promote engagement and discussions among all relevant stakeholders without unrealistic preconditions. In a country as diverse and as resource-rich as Myanmar, peace and stability can be brought only through concessions and compromise by all stakeholders working within a united Myanmar. The peace process must embrace all stakeholders, and all stakeholders must find space in the process. The goal of Federal Democratic Republic can be realized only through political dialogue and negotiations in a spirit of give and take, rooted in a free, fair, federal, inclusive, and credible democratic process. Thank you. May peace and unity flourish in Myanmar and in our shared region. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for your online